What is going on? This is Edward from Boxing Fanatico, and today in the Boxing Weekly Recap, we got Manny Pacquiao calling out Conor McGregor now also? What? Zab Judah had his return fight. Big news coming from David Haye and Richard Schaefer, and Angel Garcia causes some controversy in his press conference. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This is Boxing Fanatico. So Manny has come out saying that if Floyd Mayweather doesn't fight Conor McGregor, then guess what? Guess who's gonna get the ticket to fight Conor McGregor? Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. He literally said in that interview, hey, I feel like in the eyes of the people, I beat Mayweather. No, you did not. And in the eyes of the people, you did not beat Mayweather. Only in the eyes of delusional people did you actually beat Mayweather. Though the ones that just can't stand Mayweather winning. But in the eyes of every other normal fighter and most boxing pundits, you lost. Anyways, the craziest thing to me was that he just seems so desperate. He wants to fight Conor McGregor now. It's like he's just like clamoring for a big payday. Like, I don't know. I thought he became religious and it wasn't about the money. He doesn't fight for the money. If you don't fight for the money and that's your number one thing that you're constantly pushing, you even did a publicity stunt that you said you would fight Mayweather for free, which no one believed, but you pulled that stunt. And what's the point of fighting Conor McGregor again? Because he will lose to you in a boxing match. It's very clear. He's not competitive at all. The only reason you will be fighting him is for money. Don't play yourself. Now, moving on from that, Zab Judah had his fight with Jorge Munguia. And it appears that he was no match for Zab Judah, because Zab Judah, after having a layoff for what, like a 3-year layoff, he beat him by a second round knockout. So I don't know, not much to talk about this fight. There was like 7 people in the crowd. You were lucky if you even got to find any information regarding the fight itself, because it was like covered by no one at all. Not to mention, it wasn't even at night. It was like at 5 p.m. What were you doing? Anyways, he has the ability to have a big fight, but not a huge fight, just a decent fight where somebody wants to get their names over or something, they'll fight him or whatever, but he's not really a valid opponent yet in my mind. That win did nothing to elevate him in any way, shape, or form, but he did get a second round knockout, so props to that. So David Haye and Richard Schaefer has now combined forces, so Haymaker and Ringstar is now Haymaker Ringstar. Yeah, not much creativity in fusing that name together, but you can't knock Richard Schaefer, because Richard Schaefer, this is basically like Golden Boy Promotions all over again for the UK, because David Haye is like the pastime, star of the UK. He's one of those pastime stars for the UK that can always sell out no matter what. And Richard Schaefer understands that. So Richard Schaefer has the know-how to go in the behind the scenes and be the brain to put matches together and to get the word out there for fights, and to have the star power of David Haye. Very, very smart. Something I wouldn't even think of. He went overseas and did something, and did the Golden Boy Promotions of the United States. He did it over there, knowing that he probably just can't by himself come here and compete the way he wanted to. Damn, that guy is smart, man. That guy is smart. Anyways, I'm sure they're gonna have the United States fights and stuff, and he's gonna be able to merge that, but he wants to get big, and that's the best way to do it. Remove your competition by not having Golden Boy Promotions and Bob Arum's Top Rank and all of that be even your competition at all. Like, they're basically eliminated from competing against you because they're not competing over there with you. You're competing against Eddie Hearns and stuff, but he seems to be doing a smart. It's an easier fight if he does that than if he battles over here on his own with nobody to, with no star power or no connection like the Golden Boy, De La Hoya Schaefer thing. This seems to lend itself in the same way, but for the UK. Smart guy. Now, we're gonna go ahead and end this. Not much happened this week, as you can tell, but we're gonna go ahead and end this Boxing Weekly recap with Angel Garcia's rant on Kieth Thurman. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand trash talk. You know, it's sometimes it could be fun. Sometimes it can be, you know, it can hype you up. It can get the other guy who's you trash talking to get hyped up and want to trash talk back, and that elevates everything. And people, you know, that seems to be very appealing and compelling to people to watch. Two people go at each other and just be super hyped up. But I feel like the way Angel Garcia does it, he doesn't do it with a filter. He doesn't do it understanding like the political or the you know, the respectful like bubble. He will burst through that. He won't just be like, oh, I'll beat you up, my son will beat you up, my son's gonna beat your, you know, butt or whatever, I'm gonna mess you up. But he doesn't do that. What he does is he'll say it the way he would say it if there was no cameras around. He would talk the way he would talk if there was nothing recording him, almost as if he's just out in the street saying something to someone else. And I think he feels somehow validated because he's from Philly and he's from the streets, or in his mind, he's from the streets, and he can say the N-word to an African American. And no, Angel Garcia, you cannot say the N-word to an African American, and you are not validated because that, number one, is disrespectful because that other person is not someone that you are close with in any way, shape, or form. And two, this is in the public eye. You are misrepresenting yourself, you're misrepresenting your team, you're misrepresenting your son, and you're misrepresenting the sport itself, the organization. You have no right to talk to an African American male in that derogatory way. So I do not support him talking that way to Kieth Thurman. He could be a light-skinned guy, but that doesn't make him not black. He's a black fighter. So don't come to him talking crazy like that and using the N-word. That is 100% uncalled for. Was it entertaining? It was entertaining in a way where you felt disgusted and you couldn't believe what you were seeing. It's almost like a shock. You get like a little, you know, adrenaline from watching that, but it wasn't like, go Angel. It was more like, I can't believe this is happening in front of my eyes. Lou DiBella did nothing. He smiled his way through the whole thing and then went on Twitter and said, hey, how dare he talk with a derogatory term. No, how about you would have stopped him at that moment? How about you would have told him, hey, no, enough. You have the power to do that. You can say that, but you let him go and you let him say what he said. It got a little crazy. They almost got into a scuffle. Now it just makes me want to see Kieth Thurman knock Danny Garcia out. Like literally, that's how I feel. But I'm gonna reserve myself and I'm gonna make the proper prediction as the fight gets close. We're almost there, man. This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be one of the biggest ones of this year because these are two A fighters fighting each other. Let's get this fight going. So that is it for the Boxing Weekly recap of this week. Stay tuned for Friday where we do the Boxing Weekly segments, and of course next week where we do the Boxing Weekly recap. This is Edward from Boxing Fanatico. Have a good one. I'm out.